Evergrande Real Estate unable to repay due debts of $44 billion. Unusual move at CCP's 2 sessions, sudden announcement canceling Premier's press conference. 3 years into the pandemic, the number of children in preschool education in China has decreased dramatically. Guangdong village chief's 60-acre palace sparks outrage and investigation. Chinese crime syndicates launder billions of dollars using cryptocurrency. It's all covered in today's China Truths. Evergrande Real Estate unable to repay due debts of $44 billion. On March 1, Evergrande Real Estate Group Company, Limited announced that as of the end of January 2024, there were a total of 2,094 unresolved litigation cases with a subject amount of over 30 million yuan each, approximately $4.2 million, totaling about 515.819 billion yuan, around $72 billion, in subject amounts. Compared to the data at the end of December last year, the debt issue of Evergrande Real Estate seems to continue to deteriorate. According to the announcement, as of the end of December 2023, there were 2,073 unresolved litigation cases with a subject amount of over 30 million yuan each, approximately $4.2 million, totaling about 502.596 billion yuan, approximately $70 billion. At that time, the unsettled due debts totaled about 297.81 billion yuan, approximately $41.4 billion, with overdue commercial bills accumulating to about 205.004 billion yuan, around $28.5 billion. It can be seen that within a short month, the debt issue of Evergrande Real Estate has worsened. Previously, Evergrande Real Estate was publicly reprimanded by the Shenzhen Stock Exchange for failing to submit and disclose its 2022 interim and annual reports on time. Additionally, Evergrande Real Estate Group stated that the company had suspended trading of all its existing corporate bonds since March 21, 2022. Evergrande Real Estate Group expressed that this move was made against the backdrop of the company working through multi-party collaboration to legally ensure creditors' rights and interests and mitigate debt risks. Regarding the resumption of trading, it will be notified in the form of an announcement depending on subsequent developments. Previously, on January 29 of this year, China Evergrande Group was ordered by the Hong Kong High Court to be liquidated, against the backdrop of the group's debt exceeding 240 billion yuan, approximately $33.3 billion, rendering it insolvent. On March 1, the topic of Su Jian's Hong Kong luxury house being listed for sale also became a hot topic in the market. The message indicated that the Hong Kong luxury house in question consists of 3 villas at number 10 Peak Road, divided into blocks B, C, and E, which Su Jian purchased in 2010 with a total market value of about 2.5 billion Hong Kong dollars, around $320 million at the time. The property is a 3-story detached mansion, sold as is, with the tender closing date tentatively set for April 22, 2024. Unusual move at CCP's 2 sessions, sudden announcement canceling Premier's press conference. On March 4, during a National People's Congress (NPC) press conference, a significant announcement was made concerning the future of Premier Li Chang's engagement with the media. Lu Qingjian, the NPC spokesperson, declared that following the 14th NPC's second session this year, Premier Li Chang will not participate in a press conference, a tradition that will extend to the forthcoming years unless exceptional circumstances arise. This decision breaks from previous practices and has ignited widespread discussions among the public. Lu Qingjian explained the decision to not hold a press conference for Premier Li Chang after the second session of the 14th National People's Congress by referring to a previous event. After the first session of the 14th Congress, a press conference was held with Premier Li Chang, where he talked about building the government and outlined his work plan for his term. Lu Qingjian emphasized that the upcoming Congress session, starting on March 5, will include detailed reports from Li Chang's government, such as work, plan, and budget reports, aimed at addressing societal concerns. This strategy, along with an increase in ministry-level press conferences and ministerial passages, is designed to make it easier for the public and the media to access important information. This indicates a shift in how the government intends to communicate with the public and the media in the future. In other words, this 2 sessions increased the visibility of ministers and other officials but cancelled Li Chang's press conference. During the previous 2 sessions, the international community was particularly interested in the policy signals released by the CCP's premier at the press conference and the questions posed by domestic and foreign journalists. This unusual change at the 2 sessions has triggered widespread discussion. On March 4, independent commentator Kai Shinkuan commented on the X platform that last year's appearance of Li Chang after the 2 sessions was his final performance. Chinese politics will fully enter a mode of opacity. In fact, the annual press conference held by Li Keqiang after the 2 sessions greatly displeased Xi Jinping, but it was a decades-long tradition since the CCP's reform and opening up, as well as a symbol of governmental transparency. With Li Keqiang's departure, even this sole window into Chinese political sentiment has been closed. Kai Shinkuan believes that for Li Chang, this is like shedding a huge burden, as answering a wide range of questions from journalists could inadvertently reveal state secrets. Especially without using a notebook, it's easy to overshadow the core leadership. Moreover, the power of the State Council's premier is diminishing, having been reduced to the role of a director of the CCP Central Office. This is a significant move by Xi to weaken the premier's influence. Kunlun, chief researcher at the US-based Kunlun Institute, highlighted on the X platform that the CCP's premier has lost significant power, with the State Council's economic role diminished. This change, marked by the absence of a premier's press conference, signals a shift away from prioritizing economic development. On December 20, it was officially announced that the State Council would lose its economic decision-making authority. The premier now serves primarily as the economic advisor to the General Secretary and coordinates the implementation of economic policies decided by the Central Financial and Economic Committee, acting as a bridge between the CCP Central Committee and State Council ministries. According to Kunlun, this development reflects the CCP's push towards more centralized control post the 20th National Congress, integrating the party, government, military, and economy under one authority, with Li Chang focusing on his strengths and policy advisory. On Weibo, not holding a premier's press conference after the conclusion of the 14th NPC's second session became a trending topic, but the tag was soon blocked. After the 20th National Congress of the CCP, Li Chang became the second in command, but his influence has been continuously weakening. After taking office as premier, the State Council was positioned as a political organ, emphasizing the role of executor for Xi's Central Committee. 3 years into the pandemic, the number of children in preschool education in China has decreased dramatically. On February 29, the National Bureau of Statistics of the CCP released the statistical communiqué on the National Economic and Social Development of 2023, which showed that the number of children in preschool education was 40.93 million, a decrease of 5.345 million from the 46.275 million in 2022. However, official CCP data often conceals situations unfavorable to them, so the actual situation might be more severe. According to a report by ITSI, a mainland media outlet, on March 2, since 2004, the number of children in preschool education had been increasing year by year, reaching a peak in 2020 with 48.183 million children. However, there has been a continuous decrease for 3 consecutive years since then. According to official CCP data, in 2021, the number of children in preschool education in China was 48.052 million, a decrease of 131,000 from 2020, marking the first decline. In 2022, the number decreased to 46.275 million, a further reduction of 1.777 million, and in 2023, it plummeted by 5.345 million, with the rate of decrease reaching 11.55% compared to the previous year. Wang He, a columnist for the Epoch Times, previously stated that there are several reasons for the decrease in the number of children, one being the dire consequences of the CCP's family planning policy. On the other hand, as the economic burden on Chinese people increases, more families are reluctant to have children. Regarding the recent sharp decline in the number of children, Wang Yi believes it is directly related to the pandemic. He said, "During the pandemic, there was a large-scale death phenomenon in China. The CCP is still covering up this truth. The scale of these deaths is probably unprecedented. It's possible that not only the elderly but also young people died in this horrific situation. Under these circumstances, a decline in the birth rate is inevitable." Guangdong village chief's 60-acre palace sparks outrage and investigation. According to the paper, a village chief with the surname Huang from Shanlao village in Shajia mountain town, Puning City, Guangdong province, was reported for illegally occupying 60 acres, approximately 24.3 hectares, of land in his own name and building a private mansion and garden resembling a palace. This village chief also intended to pass down his wealth hereditarily and specifically constructed a 16-story building for rental purposes, allowing his descendants to live off the rent and continue the legacy of wealth from generation to generation. According to official public data from the Chinese government, the monthly salary of a village chief is about 3,000 yuan, about $420. With this salary, how did he become rich and powerful? How was he able to enclose 60 acres of land? How did he manage to build a mansion and a high-rise building? These questions have become topics that no one dares to discuss openly in the area. Villagers traveled all the way to Beijing to report to lawyers, and a lawyer named Hao Yifei from Beijing went down to this village in Guangdong to investigate the situation and inquire with the local government, only to receive the standard official response that everything was legal and compliant. Later, when this lawyer collaborated with the media to publish the village official's mansion online, it instantly ignited the anger of Chinese netizens and finally attracted the attention of Chinese officialdom. According to the latest announcement from Puning City, the village official surnamed Huang has been arrested and is awaiting trial for suspected illegal transfer of land use rights and other crimes. Chinese crime syndicates launder billions of dollars using cryptocurrency. The Wall Street Journal reported on March 2 that Chinese criminal groups are utilizing cryptocurrency to launder billions of dollars. This includes funds from supplying drugs to the United States or raising money through defrauding American victims. These gangs are exploiting the decentralized nature of the cryptocurrency market to evade control by Chinese and foreign authorities. They use cryptocurrencies to launder profits obtained from drug trafficking and illegal gambling, and have amassed significant funds through investment scams promising easy returns in the cryptocurrency market. Research firm Chainalysis reported last year that since 2018, crypto addresses associated with a group of suspicious chemical traders in China have received assets worth over $37.8 million in exchange for key ingredients for fentanyl. These goods are often sent to Central America and Mexico, where drug trafficking groups use them to produce drugs that are then transported to the United States. In October last year, the U.S. Office of Foreign Assets Control sanctioned a network of individuals and companies in China involved in the manufacturing and distribution of fentanyl and other drug ingredients. According to the U.S. Treasury Department, some of them hold cryptocurrency wallets to send and receive funds. The latest data from the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention highlight that fentanyl use has become a major public health issue in the United States, causing over 100,000 deaths annually. This issue is a rare area where the world's two superpowers, China and the United States, agreed to work together to address it this year. These cases highlight the changing nature of money laundering, increasingly conducted through cryptocurrencies rather than traditional methods like carrying cash suitcases. This presents a challenge for investigators, but also offers new methods to track the flow of funds, as most cryptocurrency transactions are recorded on public ledgers. A joint investigation report released in January this year by Singapore-based blockchain data platform Chainargos and China's BitRace blockchain research team found that scammers targeting victims in China and Florida shared two cryptocurrency wallet addresses, indicating they likely belonged to the same syndicate. Since the beginning of 2021, one of the wallets processed tokens worth at least $20.7 million. Funds stolen from these addresses were then deposited into two major cryptocurrency exchanges, OKX and Huobi, now called HTX. Joan L. Still, an assistant professor of blockchain analytics at Middlebury Institute of International Studies, said that it's difficult for victims in the United States to recover their money because many of them lost $10,000 or less. Although this amount could be someone's life savings, it's too small for organizations like the FBI to prioritize. Advocates against fraud say the transnational nature of these criminal groups further complicates the arrest of criminals or assisting victims in recovering assets, requiring cooperation between officials from different countries. For years, Beijing has taken a hard stance on cryptocurrencies, forcing exchanges to close, banning transactions, and imprisoning former industry executives. In January this year, the State Council announced it would submit a revised anti-money laundering law for review to China's highest legislative body. Legal experts say addressing the role of cryptocurrency in money laundering is an urgent issue. Rory Doyle, head of financial crime policy at financial software provider Finergo, said that outright banning cryptocurrency transactions is one thing, but it doesn't seem to be effective. In January this year, Chinese police said that law enforcement agencies had investigated over 800 cases, shut down 5 underground banks used to process payments, and discovered about $4 billion worth of funds based on blockchain data. At the end of 2022, Chinese police arrested 63 suspects linked to a crime syndicate in an operation spanning 17 provinces. This syndicate was involved in laundering money using cryptocurrency, totaling about $1.7 billion. Chinese prosecutors have also charged well-known cryptocurrency executives. Xiao Dong, the founder of the major cryptocurrency platform Renminbi, was sentenced to 7 years in prison in 2022 for providing cryptocurrency trading services to illegal enterprises involved in overseas gambling and so-called pig butchering scams. Don't forget to leave a comment in the section below to share your opinions on today's topic with us. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more interesting topics from China Truths.